Hey guys. The agony and the ecstasy of chess, eh? I put this in a comment today. I think that the biggest challenge for so many of us who are trying to improve is simply this potty training the mind. It's absolute, the fundamentals, the basic discipline, just not to shoot yourself in the foot at any particular opportunity. So I just want to share two games, relatively quick games. Both of them I get a massive advantage, and one of them I completely ruin. Okay, and so let me take you through it. For some reason, you guys seem to love it when I share my my most embarrassing moments. So here goes. So I'm playing the French. My opponent's rated 1450. I'm feeling pretty good. So we have normal French, advanced variation, c5 and c3. Knight comes out, and now f6. So I'm getting quite used to this now. And here we have pawn takes, which is unusual and probably inaccurate. So that I'm allowed then to recapture with a knight, which gives me free development, and I'm now actually ahead in development, as well as having these three central pawns compared to white's two central pawns, so quite happy. Knight comes in now, and I decide to develop and put a second attacker on this knight. Now, white now plays bishop out to g5, and I kind of missed here that I could have actually just taken the knight, and if pawn recaptures, I just recapture with the bishop, be absolutely fine there, but we're okay. I castled instead, and now we have knight takes knight, and b takes. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pawns on the c, d and e file compared to white's 2 pawns, so again, quite comfortable. h4 is played, and now I put my queen out to here, so I'm looking at the sensitive b2 pawn now that this bishop's flown out. And of course, without the f pawn there, it means that my rook is defending this knight, so all good there. White pushes b3, I push a5, because I don't want them to keep coming with this pawn. And now they bring out their other bishop, but this bishop blocks the queen's defense of d4, meaning that I now have 2 attackers and there's only 1 defender. So I can grab that pawn for free, and it all falls apart here for white. So they push c4, and I realise now that I can just slide my bishop in here with check. And the only way of blocking the check would be knight to here, in which case it gets taken, or maybe knight to d2, which I think may have been the best move. But white here decides to move the king. And now I press forward, okay? Key flags here. The king is in the middle of the board. The king now cannot castle because he's moved. I have a central pawn majority. Pretty straightforward that what I need to do is just press through with my pawns, right? White decides to capture the knight. I recapture with a rook. This now improves my rook now that it's eyeing down on the pawn in front of the king on f2. He pushes another pawn for no reason whatsoever, and now I push e4. So I was kind of slightly concerned about, is the queen going to come flying out here now that my knight's gone? But then I figured, no, because I've got e4 anyway, I can just block the bishop's diagonal, okay? So there goes, the bishop goes back, and now I hit it again, and this also comes with a lovely discovered attack here by the queen. You can't say, I mean, it's a double attack, a double threat. That's checkmate threat, and so there's no way of really saving the bishop. Could have, I suppose, have put the bishop there, but it would have been taken anyway. So I grab the bishop, queen takes. Now my light square bishop flies out. This pawn is pinned, so can't capture, and I grab the knight, and then it's all going to be over very, very quickly. Decide to attack the queen here because my queen is actually defending the rook. White brings their queen into g5. Kind of might look a bit sensitive now, seeing as the bishop's actually undefended. But I find that I have this. So queen there is looking at that undefended rook. It's defending the bishop. also threatening other checks, threatening to capture this pawn with check, right? Rook comes across, I slide forward with check, check again, checkmate. Brilliant, all done. Okay, that was actually the last game that I played. Now for the Agony. Again, I've got the black pieces. Again, we play the French, advance, slightly different move order. This is a bit weird because he hasn't played d2. And now he can't really play d2 because I'll just capture it straight off with a wing pawn, right? So he plays it anyway, I grab it, knight grabs. I bring out my knight. Okay, so again, we've got this pawn majority in the centre. White plays f4. I bring out my bishop. That's a second attacker on the knight. Defended only once. So pawn to c3. Now a third attacker, queen b6. Very, very typical move. Prompts an exchange. Now here I don't have to capture the knight straight away because I have bishop takes f2 check. And the king is going to have to move. So the king moves. And I grab the knight. And now queen to d3. Not a great move, okay? Because I have bishop a6. Even if the pawn blocks, bishop takes pawn, the queen is going to fall. So the best that white can do here is to grab one bishop, and if I grab the queen, he grabs another bishop, right? So now I'm a full piece up, and what do I do in this situation? In 0.9 seconds, knight to e7, getting ready to castle. Okay? All that hard work, I've just won my opponent's bloody queen, right? And I just completely go, the game is already won, I can just dance my way to winning. Blunder my stupid queen, and I resign in complete and utter disgust at myself. So there you go. And I thought I was playing really well today. I've had some good games. I've had some good wins against people with higher ratings. I've had a couple of very, very hard fought draws. And I just completely spaffed that one. Utterly reprehensible. My opponent was in pieces. I mean, yeah, it's not the biggest material difference, but all I need to do is just go that with check. My opponent can't castle. He's going to have a job getting his rooks out into the game. He's got 0 development. I'm going to castle quite happily, and it should be an absolute walk-in. But you never celebrate a win, and people have said this, until in classical chess, until you get the handshake, right? At the end of the game, until you shake hands, the game ain't over. So don't celebrate too early, and what an idiot. There you go. The agony and the ecstasy of chess. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, one day, hopefully I'm going to learn. One day I think I may manage to develop that basic potty training of the mind for so that I don't make blunders like this. But until then, you're going to have to put up with this level of entertainment, which I do appreciate. I appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I'll see you soon.